So across the country, many of you, especially if you're landowners, are probably feeling the pinch right now.
Hmm.
We're talking rising property taxes, operational costs going way up, and just, you know, the general squeeze from inflation hitting almost everything.
Yeah, it's a real challenge. We hear that a lot. It demands some creative thinking, definitely.
Right. So in this deep dive, we're going to take a closer look at how landowners are finding alternative ways to, well, generate income from their land. And our focus today is something that's become increasingly popular, the strategy of leasing hunting rights.
Okay.
Now, the money side, that might seem pretty obvious, but our mission today is to give you a shortcut, really, to understanding the full picture. We want to uncover some of these often overlooked advantages of hunting leases, benefits that honestly might be worth even more than the cash.
That's a great way to put it.
Think of the money like dessert. We'll get to it, promise. But first, let's savor the whole meal. These other benefits that really change how you manage your land, offering peace of mind, protection, alongside the financial side. Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, that frames it perfectly. Because while the revenue is, a big motivator for a lot of people, what we consistently find is landowners who do this discover a much broader impact. It affects their overall land stewardship, their personal well-being. It really empowers them in ways maybe they didn't expect at first.
Okay, so let's start with something I think a lot of generous landowners face, maybe without quite realizing how far it's gone. This gradual, sometimes unintentional loss of control. Who's actually coming onto their property? Landowners are often, generous by nature. They give a friend permission, maybe a neighbor, to hunt a certain spot. Seems like a simple, kind thing. But is this something you see often, this sort of slow creep?
Oh, absolutely. All the time. It's a classic scenario. That original friend, maybe they bring someone else along, or they just tell their buddies, oh, the owner doesn't mind. And, before you know it, what started as a simple permission feels more like an open invitation to whoever shows up.
Right.
And it gets even tougher when the original landowner passes away. The kids inherit the land, but they also inherit all these unspoken, sometimes really complicated arrangements.
Yeah, and that must lead to some really awkward spots, with those kinds of unpleasant conversations nobody wants to have,
Exactly.
which just lets that lack of control keep spiraling year after year.
It does. And, what's really quite elegant about a hunting lease is how it tackles this head on, but in a non-confrontational way. By leasing the rights to a specific defined group of hunters, the landowner immediately sort of reclaims that control.
Ah,
It sets clear boundaries, clear ownership, where maybe things had gotten a bit fuzzy. The landowner can then ask these leaseholders, hey, can you post the property? No trespassing signs? And ask them to politely let anyone else know the farm's now leased.
so it shifts the burden a bit.
Right, it shifts the responsibility, it creates a structured solution, and just resets expectations for everyone involved. It's much clearer.
Okay, so once you've kind of reestablished that control, what's the next immediate, tangible benefit you usually see? I'm guessing it hits unauthorized access pretty directly.
It absolutely does. Regaining control naturally leads us right into another huge benefit, a really significant drop in trespassing. And this has become, frankly, an increasingly difficult and sometimes unsafe situation just about everywhere.
Yeah.
We should be really clear here. Trespassers they're essentially stealing access. And almost always, they're looking around your property for anything else of value, too.
That's a serious concern for property owners, isn't it?
Mm.
Especially when you think that trespassers, they're usually looking for the easiest target, the path of least resistance.
Precisely. They're often, let's be honest, inherently lazy in that sense. They don't want to risk getting caught or prosecuted. If one place looks too risky, they'll just, move on to the next farm over.
Makes sense.
So what's fascinating here is how a hunting lease acts as this proactive, really powerful deterrent. When a landowner has a specific group of hunters, people who have established a visible presence there, the trespassing tends to just plummet. These hunters, they're invested. They've paid for exclusive access, so they're going to take steps to keep others out of their lease.
And I've heard they use technology now, too, like trail cameras.
Yes, exactly. They will absolutely hang trail cameras. And the tech has gotten so much better. The big trend now is these cellular cameras. They snap a picture and send it instantly to the owner's phone.
Wow.
Instantly. Trespassers know this is happening now. They just can't risk wandering past a hidden camera and having their picture immediately sent to someone who, has a very real interest in protecting that land. Once those cameras go up, the signs go up, letting people know hunters are actively managing the property, the risk just becomes too high for most casual trespassers.
So this really goes beyond just keeping unwanted folks out, doesn't it? It sounds like it broadens into a bigger sense of security, peace of mind for the whole property and the people living there.
It truly does, yeah. Security, in this context, it's that powerful mix of regaining control and seriously cutting down on trespassers. It means less random traffic overall, which naturally leads to a much higher level of, well, both security and safety.
Like an extended neighborhood watch almost.
Exactly. Think of it like that. These hunters become familiar faces, extra eyes and ears on the property, and they're not just there for the hunt. Often they develop a real connection to the land itself, and sometimes to the landowner too.
I can really see how vital that connection could be, especially, in certain family situations.
Yeah.
There's such a deep bond, isn't there, between longtime landowners and their land.
Oh,
It's like
absolutely.
where they've built their lives, maybe raised their families, watched generations.
It's profound. And sadly, there often comes a time when maybe an elderly parent is living alone on that farm. And the adult kids, maybe they live out of state now, they're faced with this constant worry. Is mom okay? Is dad safe?
Yeah, that's tough.
We hear this all the time. Many adult children find it incredibly valuable just to have the names and phone numbers of the hunters who are regularly using the family farm. They reach out sometimes. Just having someone on the ground, someone who can maybe check in on mom or dad if needed, that's an invaluable benefit. It offers huge reassurance.
Right.
Honestly, sometimes the most rewarding part of setting up a professional hunting lease isn't just the business side, it's the genuine relationships that form, the lasting friendships.
That's a really nice aspect. An extended community kind of looking out for what matters most. And speaking of what matters most, I saw a recent survey of rural landowners. It has a really simple but profound question. Why do you own your land?
Ah, yeah.
And the answer, I think it surprised a lot of people. It wasn't mainly about making money, was it?
No, not primarily. The number one answer, it was legacy.
Legacy. Wow.
Right. It taps into something really deep. Landowners have this almost sacred connection with their land. Their deepest desire, often, is to leave that land intact, or maybe even better than they found it. They hope their kids, their grandkids, will take it over and keep enjoying it peacefully for generations. It's emotional. It's about continuity.
So if we connect the dots then, everything we've discussed so far, getting back control, stopping trespassers, boosting security, how do all those practical things tie into this deep desire for legacy?
Well, what's truly fascinating is how perfectly they all mesh with that core desire. It's almost seamless. By reclaiming control of your land, by drastically reducing trespassing, and by creating a secure, safe environment, fundamentally, a landowner is protecting their legacy.
Okay, I see.
You're creating the conditions for that legacy to actually survive and thrive, and you can achieve this by finding, a trusted group of hunters or maybe just outdoor enthusiasts in general, people who share your passion for the ground and will actively help you maintain it. They almost become partners in preserving that land for the future, ensuring it stays a place of peace and beauty and enjoyment.
All right. So we've explored this really rich tapestry of benefits, control, security, legacy. Now, it's time for the dessert we talked about. Let's talk about what often grabs the headlines first. The money, the financial rewards.
Okay.
And let me tell you, from what I'm seeing, the market for this particular benefit, it has never been stronger.
You are absolutely right about that. Right now, there has genuinely never been a bigger demand for access to private property for hunting rights. The number of hunters and organized hunting groups just far outnumbers the landowners currently offering leases. And that is incredibly good news for landowner.
Yeah, simple supply and demand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Simply put, the price per acre you can charge for exclusive access, it's never been higher. And hunters have never been more willing to pay landowners for the privilege of hunting on their farms.
That's pretty significant. It really flips the script, doesn't it? So if someone's listening and thinking about this, what kind of revenue are we actually talking about, and what things influence that price?
Yeah, the revenue from a hunting lease can be very significant. And importantly, it's typically recurring income year after year.
Right, not just a one-off.
Correct. Now, of course, the specific amount, it varies. It depends on several key things about the property itself. We look at, the state and the county it's in. The game population is huge. Is it quality deer, turkey, waterfowl, other species? The diversity of the land itself matters a lot. A
Yeah.
good mix of, say, crops, woods, maybe some water access, that's usually ideal. And naturally, the total number of acres being leased, and even things like local tag availability for certain game animals, that all plays a role too.
Okay, can you give us maybe some ballpark figures?
Sure. To give you some concrete examples, it's really not uncommon for land, say in the Midwest, especially if it has quality deer hunting, to lease for $40, maybe even $50 per acre.
Wow, per acre.
Per acre, per year. Other areas, or maybe farms with slightly less abundant game, they can still easily bring in $30 per acre, sometimes more. This kind of income, it can honestly be a game changer. It can really help offset or even cover the annual costs of just owning the property, taxes, upkeep, you name it.
Yeah.
It turns what might have been just a continuous expense into something that's maybe self-sustaining or potentially even a profitable venture.
Okay, so for someone listening now, maybe this is really resonating. They want to explore it. What's the practical first step? How do they make sure they're not just getting a decent price, but that they're also properly protected? That seems key.
That is absolutely a crucial consideration. If you're thinking seriously about moving forward with the hunting lease, probably the safest and most effective route is to use a professional hunting lease broker.
Yeah, broker, okay.
Yeah. The benefits of tapping into their expertise, their experience, it's really undeniable. They usually have this whole network of hunters already looking for leases, which often means they can actually secure you more money than if you just tried to, put an ad out yourself or rely on word of mouth.
Okay, that makes sense. But beyond just getting the best price, what are the essential protections a good professional company must offer the landowner? That seems super important.
It absolutely is. Non-negotiable, really. A professional, reputable hunting lease company should provide you with two critical features for robust protection. First, liability insurance. Now, hunting, statistically, it's actually safer than many other outdoor activities, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, but accidents, however rare, can still happen. You absolutely want to make sure you are covered for any potential liability. So, for example, a well-known company like Basecamp Leasing, they provide landowners with a $5 million liability policy. That's just standard, part of their service. That gives you incredible peace of mind.
$5 million. Wow, okay.
Yeah. And second, equally crucial is a strong, legally sound contract.
Right, the paperwork.
The paperwork matters. This agreement protects your interests. It clearly lays out the terms, the responsibilities, the expectations for both you and the hunters. Basecamp, for instance, they use a lease contract that's been meticulously refined and reviewed by attorneys for, I think, over 22 years now.
That's reassuring.
It is. A good broker should handle all that legwork, all the paperwork needed to market your property correctly, find good hunters, and most importantly, ensure you are protected from, really, every possible angle. Look, for decades, hunters have understood the benefits of leases for securing access. Now, landowners are really starting to see the complete picture. It's not just the revenue. It's the profound peace of mind and the protection it offers.
What an incredible deep dive this has been, really unlocking that hidden value in your land. We've covered so much how leasing hunting rights brings not just significant recurring revenue, that sweet financial reward, the dessert, but also delivers this invaluable peace of mind. And that peace of mind, it comes from reclaiming control, right? From dramatically cutting down on trespassing, enhancing the overall security and safety for you, for your family,
Yeah,
and ultimately protecting that cherished legacy for generations down the road.
exactly. It all ties together.
So as you reflect on this, maybe consider that profound stewardship aspect. How might this more nuanced understanding of land ownership, where these practical things like security and revenue are so deeply intertwined with that emotional desire to preserve a legacy, how might that challenge our conventional ideas about what it really means to truly steward a significant piece of property, not just for today, but for generations into the future? Something to think about. Thank you for joining us on the deep dive.